Hello everyone, today we will be solving 9618 Summer 25 Paper 4 2's question number 3. This is a question entirely about object-oriented programming and inheritance as well. So this is a very good question if you're just starting to learn about OOP. So this is a good question you can use to practice. A program stores data about animals using object-oriented programming. The class animal stores data about animals. So there's a class called animal. It has 4 attributes that are name, sound, size, and intelligence. Name stores the name, sound stores the sound, and size stores the size of the animal as an integer between 1 and 10. And intelligence stores the intelligence of the animal as an integer between 1 and 10. So name and sound are both strings, and size and intelligence are integers. Okay. Write program code to declare the class animal and its constructor. Do not declare any other methods. Use your programming language's appropriate constructor. If you are writing Python, include attribute declarations using comments. Alright, so let's get started. Alright. So we have class which is called animal, and in our constructor, all of our attributes are initialized to its parameter values. So basically there's no you can say value that we're initializing it or attributes to. We're just having them as parameters. So name, sound, size, and intelligence. Name, sound, size, and intelligence. Then we'll just quickly write them. Okay, so over here they have not specified that we have to make our attributes private, and you can see that none of the methods over here mention any getters or setters. So it's safer to go to them to make non-private attributes, as in attributes that are not private. So if they haven't mentioned specifically that your attributes in a class should be private, or they have not mentioned any getters or setters, it's best to go towards normal attributes and non-private ones, so that you don't have to get into the hassle of creating getters and setters on your own and then not being able to use it outside the class. So since they've not mentioned it, we'll just create normal ones. So name is equal to name, sound is sound, size is size, and self.intelligence is equal to intelligence. So I think these two were okay. These two were strings. This is also a string. This was an integer, and this is also an integer. Okay. All right. Now we'll move on to the next part. It says the method description creates and returns a string of the animal's data in the format this animal's name is, and then the name. It makes a sound, they've given the sound, and then its size is the size that we get from the attribute, and its intelligence level is the intelligence variable. So basically you're supposed to make a string using concatenation, in which you're writing your own stuff, which is all of these strings, and then we're concatenated with the data that is in our variables name, sound, size, and intelligence. For example, the animal's name is Teddy. It makes a bark. Its size is 4 and its intelligence level is 6. Write program code for description. Now your method is not supposed to print that string, it's supposed to return that string. So maybe we can just create a variable in which we're going to save all of this concatenated message with all of these strings and the variables, and then we just return it at the end. So this is for 3 marks, so it should be easy. Alright, so it's called description. There is no parameter, so we'll just go on like this. So we can just create a string, we can just call it string, and we're going to save the message in it. So it says the animal's name is like this. Give a space. In concatenation, if you don't give a space yourself, it doesn't give it a space on its own. Then we have the name, so we'll just write self.name plus comma, it makes a then a space plus self.sound plus its size is its size is, then a space plus self.size. Then we can move this to the next line so that it's not too long. plus, and its intelligence level is intelligence, and its intelligence level is plus self dot intelligence. So this is how you can concatenate multiple strings with other string variables, and then you can make it into another string. So the thing over here is that name and sound are already string variables, right? But size and intelligence are integer variables. So to make it a string, we need to convert them into string variables like this. So we will convert them into strings so that it can create one final string, and we can have one final concatenated string which is in the variable called string, and then we will just return it. Okay, so this is for the description method. Okay, it says the class parrot inherits from the class animal. Parrot inherits the attributes from animal and overrides the description method. The additional attributes and methods in the class parrot are wingspan and number words. So it's going to have all of these attributes: name, sound, size, and intelligence. It's going to have some additional attributes which are wingspan and number of words, which are both integers. The width of the parrot's wings to the nearest centimeter is what the wingspan is, and the number of words the parrot can speak is the number of words. Okay, write program code to declare the class parrot, its constructor, and the method change number words. So this class, basically the parrot class, has another method called change number words. It takes an integer parameter and adds this to the number currently in number words. So we're basically just going to take an integer parameter and you're going to add it to the number words variable to get your new number words. Okay, so let's get to this one. So it's called parrot and it's inheriting from the animal class. So we will write animal inside the bracket. So this symbol basically will show you that you're doing inheritance. Okay, all right, so you have the same attributes, which are all these ones inherited from the class animal, and then you have two additional attributes which are wingspan and number words. So we can just say wingspan and number words. Okay, so now name, sound, size, and intelligence are inherited from the superclass, which is animal. Okay, so we're going to first write super dot double underscore initialize, in which we're going to write all of the attributes that we have inherited from the animal class. And now the other two attributes, which are wingspan, are parrot class's own attributes. So we're just going to initialize it normally. So number words is number words. Okay. All right. Is there anything else? No. Though both of them are integers, so we can write that integer, and this is also an integer. All right. They also said we have to write the constructor change number words. So it just takes an integer parameter and adds this to the number currently in number words. So we will write change number words self dot, sorry, and then there is a parameter, we can just call it value, and our method is basically just adding it to the number words. So plus equal to value. So plus equal to basically means the same thing. If you write self dot number words is equal to self dot number words plus value. So plus equal to is like a substitution of that, writing the same thing, that you're adding it to the original variable. All right. So then you have the description. Okay, let's read the question first. Okay, the method description in the class parrot creates and returns a string of the animal's data in this format. So first it has the same thing, that the animal's name is this, it makes it this sound, its size is size, and its intelligence level is intelligence. This is the same thing that was happening in the animal class. Now description is the method of the parrot class which is going to override the method description that is in the animal class. Okay, so this is an overriding procedure. Oh, sorry, method. Okay, so this thing is going to be the same. This was also in the animal class method, and now we're going to have, it has a wingspan of wingspan centimeter and can say number words. For example, the animal's name is Chewy, it makes a squawk, its size is 1 and intelligence level is 10. It has a wingspan of 30 centimeter and can say 29 words. So this is an additional thing that is in the description method of the parrot class. So we're going to write it. Okay, so we have description, Now over here you will see this symbol which shows you that it's an overriding method. Okay, so if you call it from the parent, if you call it from the parent class, you're going to call this method call description. If you call it from the animal class of an object that is of the animal class, you will use this method. Okay, now we can copy the same thing. Actually, we just have to edit it. So this is our string. We just have to add a few things. So over here, after intelligence, we have to add that it has a wingspan of the wingspan, which is also an integer, so we have to convert it into a string. So we can say, I think it has a full stop. Then it has a wingspan of, of space. And then we're going to give a plus sign. I think we can move on to the next line. Okay. And then we're going to have self dot wingspan plus, which is going to be converted into a string because we're creating a string. Okay. Centimeter and can say self dot number words plus words. Okay, I think this is it. All right, so this is how you can just copy it from the previous description method, and you can just edit it to make it like this. And we just have to convert the number words variable into a string as well, because this was also an integer variable. This is it. So far this is a pretty easy question. The only thing that might be a little tricky is the inheritance part, but that is just a small thing that you have to write it inside the bracket to inherit it. Okay, so I think this is enough for the parrot class. Okay. Oh, we have another class now. It says the class wolf inherits from the class animal. So you have another class called wolf, and it also inherits from the animal class. Wolf inherits the attributes from animal and overrides the description method. So it's going to inherit all of the attributes in animal that were name, sound, size, and intelligence. And it will also, just like the parrot class did, it overrides the description method. So maybe there is a new string that we're going to create similar to the one that was in the original parent class, which was animal. The additional attributes and methods in the class wolf are territory size. Territory size is an additional attribute. So it stores the size of the area where the wolf lives to the nearest square mile. Okay. And it has another method which is called set territory size. It takes an integer parameter and adds this to the number currently stored in territory size. Write program code to declare the class wolf, its constructor, and this method. And okay, so this is again 4 marks. So you're basically declaring classes and constructor and writing its methods is very easy once you have a good understanding of the concept of OOP. So in my opinion, this question is really easy, and it's a very easy scoring question. You're literally just getting so many marks. Probably, I think you did this 2 times before as well. So you're just getting 12 free marks for just creating the constructor. So if you have a strong understanding of how OOP works and how inheritance works, this question is a piece of cake. Okay, so we have class wolf, and it also inherits from animal. Okay, so we will double underscore initialize. Now it has the same attributes that are from the animal class, and it has an additional attribute which is the territory size. Okay, so we're going to copy this same thing. We can copy it that these are because these are the attributes that from the superclass, we have to initialize them like this to mention that they are being inherited from the animal class. Okay, and then we have one additional variable which is territory size. We can just initialize it to the parameter value. Okay, so this is for the constructor, and then you have the method that is set territory size. So set territory size. Okay. What does it do? It takes an integer parameter and adds this to the number currently in territory size. So it's the same thing as what we did with the change number words. We just took an integer parameter and we added it to the number words. Now we're doing the same thing, but we're doing it for the wolf's territory. So we're going to take a value and just add it to this. So plus equals to value. Okay, I think this is it. So we've done both of them. We've declared its constructor and we've also declared the method. Now it says the method description in the class wolf creates and returns a string, the same thing, of the animal's data in this format. Now this all of this is the same as what was in the parent class animal, right? The only additional thing is this one, that we have to add its territory size, which is in its territory is the size and then in square miles. So they've given an example. The animal's name is Night Eyes. It makes a howl. Its size is 8 and its intelligence level is 7. Its territory is 100 square miles. We have to write the program code. So very easy peasy. We can do it in 2 marks. Okay. So we have description. Okay. And then we can just copy this and we just have to edit it. Okay. Because all of the things are the same up till intelligence. There's just one additional thing, which is the territory size. We have to write its territory is. So we will have a plus its territory is, then a space, plus, we can move to the next line, self dot territory size plus square miles. So territory size is also an integer variable, which we forgot to write over here. So what do we do with integer variables? We convert them into string, like this, because this is a string. All right, so this is it for this method. So when we call it, so now you have 3 different methods. When you call this, when you have an object of the class animal, you're going to use this method. When you have an object of the class parrot, you're going to be using this one. And if you have an object of the class wolf, you're going to be using this one. So you basically have 3 overriding methods. All right. Okay, now it says the main program declares instances of the class for the 3 animals. A parrot with the name Q.3, it makes a squawk sound. Its size is 1, intelligence is 10, wingspan is 30, and it can say 29 words. Okay, let's do it step by step. First, we'll create the parrot. So let's enter in the main program. Okay, and over here we will create our 3 objects of the relevant class. So our first object, we can call it Chewy, which was the name of the parrot. Okay, so it's from the parrot class, so we will say parrot. Okay, now it's asking us for the parameters, which is name, sound, size, intelligence, wingspan, and number words. So the name is Chewy. Then we have sound, which is a squawk sound. So squawk, it's spelled like this. Okay, then we have the size. Size is 10, size is 1, intelligence is 10. Size is 1, intelligence is 10. Wingspan is 30 and it can say 29 words. Wingspan is 30 and it can say 29 words. So this is your object of the class parrot, which is called Chewy. Then you have a wolf with the name Night Eyes. It makes a howl sound. Its size is 8, intelligence is 7, and its territory is 100 square miles. So we will create another variable. We will create another object of that class wolf, and it's going to give us options for the parameters. Now name, sound, size, and intelligence are always going to be there, and over here an additional attribute is the territory size. So the name was Night Eyes, then the sound was, I think, a howl. Then you have the size, which is 8, intelligence is 7, and 100. So 8, 7, and 100. 8, 7, and 100 is the territory size. Okay. Okay, and then finally you have an animal that is a horse with the name Copper. It makes a neigh sound. Its size is 10 and intelligence is 6. Okay, so we have Copper now, which is just from the class animal, which was the first parent class that we created. So it just has 4 attributes, that is name, sound, size, and intelligence. So the name is Copper. Sound is this, I'm not pronouncing it. Size is 10 and intelligence is 6. So we have created 3 objects from the 3 different classes that we created. Okay. All right. The main program also needs to decrease the territory for the wolf Night Eyes by 20 square miles. Okay. So if you see in the wolf class, we created a method that was called set territory size, which was supposed to add the parameter value to the original territory size. Now this is asking us to decrease the territory size for the wolf by 20 square miles. So we are going to go, so Night Eyes is our object. of the wolf class. So we're going to go to night eyes dot the method, which is set territory size, this, and it asks for a parameter value. We're going to send -20 because the method itself will add the parameter value to the original territory, but we have to decrease it, so we're going to send -20 so that it subtracts it. Okay, increase the number of words the parrot Chewy can say by 2 words. So you can also see that in the parrot class we also had an additional method which was called change number words, which is going to do the same thing. It's going to add the parameter value to the number words variable. So we're going to call it, so our parrot object was called Chewy, so we're going to call change number words, and we're going to send 2 because we're adding it. So we have to increase the number words, so we just sent 2. Okay, so I think this is it. Is there something else? Output the description of all the 3 animals. So the description methods were returning the strings. Now what we have to do is that we have to print those strings. So we're going to call all of these methods one by one. So we can just say print Chewy, Chewy dot description. So it's going to first print Chewy was a parrot. So it's going to print this description. It's going to use this method, description, from the parent class because I'm calling it from the Chewy object. Now we're going to say night eyes dot description. We're going to print it, and then we have copper dot description, and we're going to print it. Now because they're returning the strings, the printing is not happening over here, which is why we have to do the print in the main program. Okay, so it's going to return the string, and in the main program we'll be able to print it. Okay, it says test your program, take a screenshot of the outputs. Now let's try and run this. Okay, it says the animal's name is Chewy, it makes a squawk, its size is 1, intelligence level is 10, it has a wingspan of 30 centimeter and can say 31 words. The animal's name is Night Eyes, it makes a howl, its size is 8, intelligence is 7, its territory size is 80 square miles. So you can see that originally the parrot could say 29 words, right? And we added 2, so it says 31, which means our method is working correctly. And originally the territory size of the wolf was 100, and it was decreased by 20, so it's now 80. And the animal copper will remain the same, that its name is copper, it makes this sound, and its size is 10, intelligence level is 6. So this is it for this question. It was a pretty easy question, so very good question for you to practice if you're just starting to learn about OOP and inheritance, because it doesn't involve any other thing like file handling or maybe any ADTs. So this is a very good question to practice before your CIs. So good luck for your exams. I'll be uploading more videos for you guys so that you can watch them before you appear for your CIs.